What if you did have a viewpoint of self to the point that you are Jesus himself? Um, if you can embody that, not embody the ability to cure blindness, not as miracle work, but just how special he is and was, and how he changed the face of this planet single-handedly. I believe that because I have such a high viewpoint of self that I am no different than he. I don't relate to Christianity, but the power that Jesus possesses and the power that he's given in the universe is a power given to each of us, regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of social hierarchy. That power and its abilities can only be tapped into when you embrace that you are worthy enough to wield that power until you truly feel, until you truly create a identity and concept of being the master of that power is the only way to unlock that power's potential. I believe because of my radical, uncommon faith in myself, because of this power that I'm connected to, that with this uncommon faith, and faith is simply believing in the unknown, something that you can't see, but you believe in. That faith, that uncommon rare faith, is the single greatest thing that allows you to tap in that uncommon rare faith is the single thing that produces these rare radical results. Starring in a movie, becoming the valedictorian, hopefully completing a book. What if you had such a huge viewpoint of yourself? Now, many of you look at my facade, say, oh my God, he thinks he's the next Jesus Christ. He's the second coming. No, I don't follow religion, but yes, I do believe I'm that special. And we annotate that with a narcissism of colors, arrogant, self-centered, egotistical, only cares about himself. But none of this is true. Jesus had to embrace his identity as the Christ, as God's Son. Without embracing his divinity, without embracing his power, his greatness, without him having the highest concept of who he was, he would never be able to tap into God's potential, this power that I'm talking about. But he believed in himself, yet he also doubted himself over and over and over again. And that's the beautiful thing about the story of Jesus that I find most interesting is his humanness. Because I call it the human condition, where we feel so powerful, yet we all get to points of feeling worthless. So we are Jesus, yet our conditioning in society can trump our understanding of self. So we have to embrace a huge radical concept. And unlike your opinion or your personal belief, I'll share who I am. I live for humanity. I live to serve. I am just like him, that I want everyone to reach their fullest potential, because when you make it your mission or purpose in life to serve others, to serve your brothers and sisters and humanity, you treat people like they are your family. You care deeply about people. You feel deeply. You are in touch with people's souls. And you don't care who they are. You treat them with such a love and have so much compassion for their situations, their circumstances, their pain, their suffering. But also, don't think that life is all about reaching Christ consciousness, if you will. I don't like that saying. It's about, yes, serving humanity, which sounds boring. I get it, especially to probably a younger generation who wants to do that. But the underlining thing about that is when you evolve, you'll understand that that's what will create peace on earth. That is what is and will create peace on earth. Is this love for our fellow man, our love for humanity. But in addition to all that, the great thing about life is we all have our individual personal preferences and desires, that these are given to us. We are inspired or inspirited. We're connected to that power when we feel inspired. Maybe we're inspired to go out to Hollywood and start a movie, and no one or nothing is going to stop you in your current reality. No one, because you see a different reality. You are attached to that power, and you know that you can go through homelessness, you can go through professional rejection, you can go through sexual propositions, and you can still come out on top because you have this faith. And we all have these preferences, we all have these desires, because that's, I feel, why we're here. To fulfill. There's nothing wrong with fulfilling our own wants and desires. That's healthy. That's what life is about. And there's enough room for everyone. There's no lack here. But if you want to do it, you can do it. I heard that through Jerry and Esther Hicks, the personal preferences and desires that we were born to create. She wrote a book, Ask and It Is Given, and they've written a lot of books about, basically through how they felt was a channel, an angel or some source called Abraham that would come through Esther and speak very differently than a human typically would. But to me, what I'm doing now is exactly what she's doing. But I don't have a facade for it. I don't have a character for it. And I feel like, honestly, it's a character. But this is how she's connected to that, and this is her element, and this is her way. And the great thing about life is she's doing a great service for humanity, and I may have a different viewpoint of how I feel about her abilities, but you let people be who they are. Unless someone's causing pain to somebody else, that might be an indication that someone might be doing something wrong. about how we all have personal preferences and desires, and once you immediately attach yourself or inspired by a vision in your imagination of what you want, these rockets of desire, as she calls them, instantly start manifesting behind the curtain. Now, the language I'm using is a bit different than hers, but basically the non-physical side immediately starts taking shape, form, and that's how life is that you have the physical reality and you have what's behind the curtain, kind of like a stage play. You just see the characters, but there's a lot of stuff going on behind that curtain. There's a huge crew that are helping make this possible. And so you, just like those actors, have a team. You have a team on your side. I like to believe that we all have individual teams made up of people. Again, my beliefs are simply concepts I've constructed, just like concepts I've constructed about who I am and how powerful of a human being I am. The concepts I've created to identify with why we're here are concepts that make me happy and fulfilled. Those concepts will always evolve over time. Do I have any proof? No. Do I have any proof that I am a powerful human being? I don't know. Look at me. I think I'm a pretty well put together person. How was that created? I didn't always feel that way. It was created by identifying with that I was special enough, that I was worthy enough, and that was the hardest thing for me. And my background and my environment and my upbringing was feeling worthy enough